So in this video, we're going to do a code along, and it's going to illustrate one other way to use a while loop. So far, we've been using a while loop where we use numbers and we have a range. So we print numbers from 10 to 50, and that is a set range. So there's another way to use a while loop where we don't actually know exactly how many times it will run. It's not predetermined. So this Annoy-O-Matic that we're going to make, it's a fancy term for an annoying website that constantly asks you, are we there yet? Until you enter the word yes or yeah. Anything else, it will ask you, are we there yet again? So let me show you. I'll refresh the page. Are we there yet? Let's say no. Are we there yet? Not yet. Are we there yet? And now let's say yes. And it tells us, yes, we finally made it. So that's what we're going to make to start. So to get going, we need to have a file with our HTML. And I just called mine annoy.html. And then we're going to add in our scripts tag. And then we'll need to make the file. So let's call this annoy.js. Let's make our new file annoy.js in the same directory. And I always like to add my alert connected just to make sure. So now let's open up our version. And we won't see anything on the page, but it should say connected. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is just ask a user, are we there yet? So we'll make a variable called answer equal to prompt, are we there yet? Save that. So then the next step is to check, did the user say yes? So we could use an if statement like this, if answer equals yes. Then we'll do an alert, yay, we made it. And that's great. And we could have an else where we then ask again. And you don't have to do this part, but I'm just illustrating to you without a while loop. We could do this, but it will only run one time. So it will ask, are we there yet? And if I enter no, then it will run the else, var answer equals are we there yet again, and then nothing else happens. So I'll show you that. Refresh. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. And that's it. So rather than using just a simple conditional, we're going to use a while loop, but it's going to use a lot of the same code that we have here. So we just write while answer is not equal to yes. So while the user has not said yes, we're going to prompt them again. And that's all there is to it. So while answer is not equal to the word yes, let's ask them again, are we there yet? And then finally at the very end, we can just have an alert that says, yay, we made it. And this won't run until this loop is over. And so that means that the user has to have typed in yes in order to get this far. So let's try it out. Go back to the browser. Are we there yet? No. Nope. No. No. Anything we want. And then as soon as we type the word yes, it tells us, yay, we made it. So I wanted to do this to show you that you can use a while loop in another way. So this is not a predetermined loop that runs 10 times or 5 times. It can vary. And it's all up to user input. So there was one more requirement, which is that we could also type the word yeah, Y-E-A-H, instead of yes, and either one would work. So that's pretty easy to implement. All we need to do is add in another part of this conditional, where we want to add an and, while answer is not equal to yes, and answer is not equal to yeah, then we'll ask again, and that's it. So refresh, type something, it keeps asking, then I could enter yeah, and it says we made it. And I can also do that entering yes. So there's a version 2 here that's just a little bit more advanced, where you don't have to enter the exact word yes or yeah only. You could enter any phrase as long as it has yes or yeah in it. So I'll show you. It could be something like, yes, we are, which currently doesn't work in our other version because it's checking to see if the entire string is yes or yeah. So what we want to do is check if the string contains yes, if part of it matches yes, but not all of it necessarily. So to do that, there's a method we can use called index of. So I'll show you an example in the console. If I make a string called hello world, and I use index of, so str.index of, and in parentheses, I give it a string like w, it's going to give me the number where w occurs, which is 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can also use it on a full word like world. And it tells me that world occurs starting at index 6. And if I try and do something that doesn't exist, so in our case, let's try yes, that's not in hello world, it gives me -1. So I can use that to my advantage. So I want to check, is yes anywhere in the input string, anywhere in answer? So to do that, I'm going to go back down here, and for our version 2, I'm just going to keep our initial code and comment it out. And then I'll write version 2 and put this down here. So this is going to stay the same. This is going to be different. So we're going to want something like answer.index of yes. And we want to see, is it equal to -1? So that means that the word yes does not exist inside of our answer. So let's try that out. Refresh. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? Yes, I think so. And it says, yeah, we made it. Try it again, and let's try, we are there, yes. And it tells us we made it. Okay, so that's version 2, and that's all we needed to do there. So that's all there is to version 2. I just wanted to show that you can use index of to make your input checking a little bit more flexible.